This is Optimal Finance Daily, episode 730, Social Security, How Secure and When to Take It, Part 2, by J.L. Collins of jlcollinsnh.com. And I am your host and narrator. My name is Dan, and I'm here each weekday reading to you from some of the best personal finance blogs on the planet. And today's post is actually a continuation from yesterday, so if you are new here, it would be best to listen to yesterday's episode first. But if you're all caught up, let's hear part 2 and continue optimizing your life. Social Security, How Secure and When to Take It, Part 2, by J.L. Collins of jlcollinsnh.com. When should I begin taking the money? Once you reach age 62, you can begin receiving Social Security. The catch is, the sooner you start, the smaller your checks. The longer you delay, up until age 70, the bigger the check. Of course, the longer you delay, the fewer years you'll be collecting. Countless articles have been written about strategies attempting to answer the question as to when to begin receiving benefits. All kinds of fancy, sometimes complex strategies are described. I've read a bunch, and my view is, in the end, it's really pretty simple. Since the government actuarial tables are as good as they get, the payments are pretty much spot on with the odds. Here's what, in order, you have to ask yourself. 1. When do I need the money? If you genuinely need the money right now, nothing else matters. But if you can delay, you might find some advantages. 2. Do you think Social Security will collapse and stop paying? If you believe this, clearly you'll want to collect while the collecting is good. For what it's worth, I happen to think you're wrong, and I'll explain why further on. 3. How long are you going to live? The longer you live, the more advantageous delaying is. The break-even point between age 62 and 66 is around age 82 to 85. If you think you'll die before then, you might want to take the money sooner. 4. Unless you were married and you were the higher-earning spouse, then you also want to consider how long your spouse will live. If your spouse is likely to outlive you, upon your passing, he or she will be able to trade in their lower Social Security payments for your bigger checks. For example, my wife and I are both in good health, but looking at family histories and because women outlive men, my best guess is that she'll survive me, maybe by as much as 2 decades. I figure I'm good to maybe 80 to 85. Were I alone, I'd start drawing ASAP, but she could easily see 95 or 100. When I die, she'll have the option of switching from her benefit to mine. Since mine will be larger, that's what she'll do. To maximize that check for her, I'll delay taking my benefit until I'm 70. She'll start hers at 66. Another thing worth considering. As we reach advanced age, our mental acuity diminishes. Managing our investments becomes harder. We become more reliant on others. At that point, a monthly government check has more value than just the dollars. Of course, there's no way to know what the future really holds. The best we can do is play the odds. Another person might ask, the odds look to me like Social Security is doomed. I'm taking mine ASAP. There are those who choose to take their benefits the moment they turn 62, even though the amount is reduced. Some simply need the money right now and have no choice, but others are acting out of fear. They believe Social Security will collapse in their lifetime, and they want to get what they can while they can. I'm not worried. If you are 55 or older, you'll collect every dime. Here's why. 1. Social Security is backed by the most powerful lobby in history, AARP. 2. Geezers are an increasing proportion of the population. 3. Geezers vote. 4. Politicians rarely try to take anything away from a large population that votes. And 5. This is why all the possible solutions being suggested will affect only those age 55 and under. To which someone might respond, well, that's all well and good, but I'm under age 55. What about me? For anyone 55 and over, Social Security has turned out to be a pretty great deal. But mine and the generations older than I are likely the last that will enjoy such lofty benefits. The system is in trouble, and clearly changes will have to be made. For those under 55 today, the deal is likely to be a lot less sweet. You can expect, 1, to get 100% of any promised benefits, but the promises will be smaller. 2, it will cost you more. Income caps, the amount of your income subject to Social Security tax, will continue to be raised. In 2003, the cap was $87,000. For 2013, it is $113,700. As of 2019, $132,900. That's a trend that will continue. 3. The full retirement age will continue to rise. It used to be 65. For me, it's 66, and for anybody born in 1960 or later, it is 1967. those ages will continue to rise. 4. Benefits may become means-tested, that is, based on your need rather than what you paid in. And 5. Congress will continue to tinker, and in the end, Social Security will still be there. So, is Social Security a good deal? Well, it kinda depends. For the fiscally responsible types who read this blog, probably not. If you took that 6.2% of your income you are compelled to contribute, along with the 6.2% your employer is compelled to kick in, and invested it over decades using the strategies presented here, you'd likely be far, far ahead. Plus, your money would be in your hands and not subject to the whims of the government. But that's just the few of us. I'm realistic enough to know that most people are goofs with their money. Without Social Security, many would be back to living on cat food. Not only would the rest of us have to read about their sad plight, something much more draconian than Social Security might well be implemented to remedy the situation. So yes, for most people, it will turn out to be a good deal, and probably for society as a whole, but not for you or me. Recommendation: plan your financial future assuming Social Security will not be there for you. Live below your means, invest the surplus, avoid debt, and accumulate FU money. Be independent, financially and otherwise. If and when Social Security comes through, enjoy. You just listened to part 2 of the post titled Social Security, How Secure and When to Take It by J.L. Collins of jlcollinsnh.com. And that is 730 episodes of Optimal Finance Daily in the books. I hope you enjoyed our posts this week, and thank you so much, as always, for your support and for being here with me each and every day. I will be back with you next week, where I'll have more posts. So have yourself a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday, where your optimal life awaits.
Hello, Life Optimizer. This is Justin Malik, creator and producer of this podcast, but also Optimal Living Daily, the show where I read to you from even more blogs covering finance, productivity, minimalism, personal development, and more from incredible bloggers like Derek Sivers, Zen Habits, Mark and Angel, The Minimalists, and all the ones you hear on this show too. So if you enjoyed today's episode and like taking amazing blogs on the go, come on over to Optimal Living Daily and subscribe to that one too. And together, we'll start optimizing your life.
You've been listening to Optimal Finance Daily. Be sure to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on each new episode and head to oldpodcast.com. That's OLDpodcast.com for a free gift as well as more actionable tips and resources to help you maximize your potential. Thanks for joining us, and remember, your optimal life awaits.